Welcome to our stock market briefing program. Today, we have some exciting news from Japan, where West Japan Railway and Serendix have achieved a remarkable feat by constructing the world's first 3D printed train station in just 2 hours. This innovative station, located at Hatsushima Station, features modern ticket machines and gates, all while minimizing disruption to train services. JR West plans to apply this groundbreaking technology to other unstaffed stations, potentially revolutionizing railway infrastructure. In other news, over 200 companies on the Tokyo Stock Exchange are facing a tough road ahead as stricter listing criteria come into effect. With the TSE's reorganization into 3 markets, many companies are scrambling to meet the new requirements. The clock is ticking, as delistings are set for October 1, 2026, after a 1-year grace period. This shakeup could have significant implications for investors and the market landscape. Lastly, GameStop is in the spotlight again, but not for the right reasons. The company's shares plummeted 23% after announcing a plan to sell $1.3 billion in debt to fund Bitcoin purchases. Investors are raising eyebrows over this decision, questioning the strategy behind it. Despite the volatility, some analysts remain cautiously optimistic about GameStop's future financial stability. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. Nikkei Asia reports that West Japan Railway, in collaboration with Serendix, has successfully built the world's first 3D printed train station at Hatsushima Station in Arita, Japan. This innovative structure, designed to streamline the construction process and reduce labor costs, was assembled in just 2 hours during the night between train services. The station features a unique design, including a decorative wall inspired by the region's renowned mandarin oranges. The project, which involved only 6 workers, aims to replace an aging building from 1948 while also being more resilient against natural disasters. JR West Innovation's president expressed excitement about the potential for 3D printing technology to be utilized in other unstaffed train stations across Japan, marking a significant step towards future advancements in construction. In another report from Nikkei Asia, over 200 companies on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, TSE, face potential delisting as the exchange's transitional period concludes. The TSE has tightened its listing criteria, requiring companies on the prime market to maintain a market capitalization of 10 billion yen and a tradable share ratio of 35%. Many companies were allowed to remain listed during this adjustment phase, but as the deadline approaches, firms that do not meet these standards will face delisting by October 2026. Notably, some companies have successfully improved their standings by adjusting their share ratios through sales or strategic buybacks. Analysts predict that the stringent requirements may drive more companies to consider voluntary exits or management buyouts, as maintaining a listing could become increasingly burdensome. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation highlights a challenging start for the ASX 200, which is expected to open lower amid a backdrop of declining major share indices on Wall Street. This downturn follows the announcement of new trade tariffs by U.S. President Donald Trump, which has left investors concerned about the potential impact on global trade and economic stability. As the market reacts to these developments, the ABC encourages readers to stay updated with live financial news and insights from their team of expert business reporters, emphasizing the importance of being informed in a fluctuating economic landscape. Associated Press reports that Damon Evans has taken the helm as the new athletic director at Southern Methodist University, SMU, stepping into a role that comes with a wave of momentum the program hasn't experienced in decades. The Mustangs football team made history by not losing a single regular season game in their inaugural Atlantic Coast Conference, ACC, year and secured a spot in the first-ever 12-team playoff. Meanwhile, the men's basketball team narrowly missed an NCAA tournament bid but advanced to the second round of the NIT. Evans, who previously led athletic departments at Maryland and Georgia, expressed his ambition to elevate all sports at SMU, emphasizing a commitment to excellence across the board. he noted the significance of the Mustang's recent ACC entry, which played a pivotal role in attracting top-tier talent to the program. In another update, the Associated Press highlights the troubling turn for GameStop as its stock plummeted 23% following the announcement of a $1.3 billion debt sale aimed at funding Bitcoin purchases. This move raised eyebrows among investors, with analysts questioning the rationale behind paying more than twice the company's cash value for potential Bitcoin conversion. Despite having $4.8 billion in cash, the company's stock value remains precarious, especially considering the volatility associated with meme stocks. The situation reflects a broader skepticism about GameStop's strategy, with analysts noting that while the company has managed to generate an operating profit recently, its future remains uncertain amidst a lack of clear direction. Nikkei Asia reports on a new financial collaboration between Japan's Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group, SMFG, and SBI Holdings, which plans to launch a public investment trust next month focusing on Goldman Sachs bonds. The fund aims to raise 100 billion yen, $662 million, and will utilize artificial intelligence to manage assets. Investors can participate with a minimum of 10,000 yen, targeting annual payouts of 0.4% to 0.5% for the bond portion. While this payout is lower than the typical interest rate on Goldman corporate bonds, the trust will also engage in options trading across various assets, including stocks and gold, through SBI's robo-advisor, Folio. This partnership reflects an expanding focus on wealth management as SMFG and SBI deepen their business alliance. Nikkei Asia reports that Fuji Media Holdings is facing a pivotal moment as long-serving director Hisashi Hida resigns amid a sexual misconduct scandal involving popular TV host Masahiro Nakai. Hida, who has been a dominant figure in the company for nearly 4 decades, is often referred to as the emperor or dictator due to his significant influence. His departure marks a critical shift in leadership, with Kenji Shimizu stepping up to lead the company. This change comes at a time when Fuji Media is grappling with declining viewership and mounting pressure from advertisers and the public to restore trust in its operations. The leadership overhaul aims to rejuvenate the company, lowering the average age of its board, but whether this will be enough to regain public confidence remains uncertain. CNN highlights the legal battle initiated by 2 Democratic Federal Trade Commission commissioners, Alvaro Bedoya and Rebecca Kelly Slaughter, who were abruptly fired by President Trump. They argue that their dismissals violate a long-standing legal precedent that protects FTC commissioners from political firings without cause. The lawsuit underscores concerns about the Trump administration's attempts to undermine independent regulatory bodies, with Bedoya accusing the president of wanting the FTC to serve as a mere lapdog. The case is set against a backdrop of ongoing debates about executive power and accountability, as the commissioners seek reinstatement to complete their terms, which would have lasted until 2026 and 2029 respectively. The Sydney Morning Herald reports on the ripple effects of President Trump's latest tariff announcements, particularly in the auto industry, causing significant declines in stock prices for major automakers like General Motors and Ford. The S&P 500 and other indices are falling as uncertainty looms over the potential impact of these tariffs, which aim to boost domestic manufacturing but could disrupt supply chains across North America. While traditional automakers suffer, electric vehicle manufacturers like Tesla and Rivian are faring better due to their domestic production. The market remains on edge as the April 2 deadline approaches, with concerns that consumer sentiment may shift towards caution, potentially stifling economic growth despite recent positive labor market indicators. BBC, the UK Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, has stated that the UK will not engage in a trade war with the US over President Trump's proposed 25% import tax on cars, set to take effect on April 2. Starmer emphasized the government's commitment to intense negotiations to avert tariffs that could disrupt the global automotive trade, particularly affecting significant UK exporters like Jaguar Land Rover, JLR. Trump claims the tariffs will stimulate growth and job creation in the U.S. car industry, but Starmer expressed concern over their potential impact, highlighting the importance of keeping all options open. The UK's car exports, valued at about £7.6 billion annually, rely heavily on the US market, which is the second largest after the EU. With around 198,000 jobs directly tied to the UK car industry, and many firms having foreign ownership, the stakes are high. JLR, owned by Tata Motors, is awaiting more information on the tariffs, while industry leaders warn that the tariffs could inadvertently boost the Chinese car market. Economists have raised doubts about the effectiveness of Trump's approach, suggesting it may lead to higher inflation and could isolate the U.S. car industry from global markets. The Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, SMMT, has called for a resolution, noting the historically productive relationship between UK and US auto industries. As negotiations continue, there are suggestions that the UK could impose retaliatory tariffs on popular US electric vehicles like Tesla, which could also feel the impact of these trade tensions. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spin, walls come down, voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd, broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen, every link a different theme, words collide in the stream, 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories more than us. Hear the voices rise alarm. Truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe. Spin the threads in a strobe. Every story wears a robe. Truth and lies in their code. Journalists dig real deep. Secrets out, they don't sleep. Every angle they will keep. In the news we take a leap. New perspectives day by day. Hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray.